and it's going to go ahead and allow Everize to get up that base without having to do any kind of force field, which is going to be great because these medevacs are now going to be on the field. And it looks like we are seeing a double drop from Everize. Where is that observer from Noctis? Here it is. Looks like it's actually going to completely miss this drop, but will Noctis bring his army back to cover the drop? It looks like he might, as these stalkers are moving over here. Stalkers are already in place to actually make Everize not drop his units, but it looks like Everize could actually find a hole over here, but in all honesty, it looks like he's actually not going to go for it, which is probably a smart move, as Noctis does have enough Stalkers in position to take that out. They're just going to move it out and actually work on taking down the Stalker, but that will not be the case. Everize does have stim concussive shells, but no engineering bay upgrades quite yet. We're on his base. We actually do see a single engineering bay getting the +1 weapons, and Tech Lab is going to go ahead and start getting combat shield, but Everize is really focusing now on Viking production, as he does have a few medevacs on the field. It's actually allowing him to take out some of those pylons that are around the front that are mainly used to actually have Noctis be able to warp in units, but this last pylon will be taken out, and this is actually supply blocking Noctis. Noctis' first Colossus is about to come out with extended thermal lance on the way, so he does have Colossus tech. He just needs to unsupply lock himself so he can actually increase his Colossus numbers. One probe is actually watching this third base, so Noctis is fully aware of the fact that Everize does not have a third base. Okay, first Viking is now on the field, but one Viking is one Colossus. That's going to be bad for a Terran. A lot of Marines are in this mix, though. It seems that Everize does favor the Marines, as he's got approximately 2/3 of the Marauders compared to the Marine count, as those lines in the control groups really make it easy to do the math in that respect. Alright, so Noctis is still fearing the drop. He's got these Stalkers back here. He's got vision through this pylon of this backdoor spot. But it doesn't seem that he's planning on getting up an expansion immediately. Everize does have enough that he could easily start building a command center, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be his choice. He does have +1 weapons just finished, and +1 armor is now being researched as well. We have Noctis doing a good job of scouting. Just go ahead and make sure that there are no hidden expos from Everize, as that contain could have actually made a hidden expo a very viable option for Everize. So great scouting from Monsieur Noctis. He does have all these Stalkers out in front in a very weird out-of-position spot. Looks like he just wants to possibly intercept any form of SCVs that could be going to the Watchtower. And as that happens, this SCV will get taken out quite easily. These Stalkers do not have Blink. Do we have Twilight Tech on the field? We actually see the Twilight Council in production right now. But it looks like, oh, these units are going to get taken out? Yes. So it looks like Noctis is going to go ahead and attack his own assimilator in anger, as he actually ends up defending against this drop with a few minimal Stalker losses, not even taking any hull damage onto this last Stalker. So good stopping of the drop. Everize is a beast with his drops. He's a very, very strong Terran player, and dropping is a great part of Terran play. You see the unit's loss is actually in favor of him, though, even with the fact that that drop was thwarted. Here we're seeing the third go down for Everize, but it seems that Noctis may not be aware of it. He is not aware of this. He does have this proxy pylon in a very good spot to actually, warp in reinforcements inside of, like really close in proximity to Everize's base. But this observer has been all around this entire game, doing a great job of scouting this army as it walks by. It should allow Noctis to get a good solid bit of positioning and warp in another round of units. He actually is getting Blink as opposed to Charge for the Stalkers, as the Stalker count is looking to be actually a little bit higher than his Zealot count, so smart. That's going to allow those Stalkers to be a lot better than before. Now, the third base for Noctis is close to being done, while Everize's base is actually not as close to being done. So Nexus is faster than the command center. So good expansion timings on both players' part, just being very, very aware. Everize is ahead in the food count, 163 to 154. This is looking solid for both of the players. Noctis, however, has a ton of Stalkers on the field, which are going to take a ton of damage from the massive amounts of Marauders that are within this army composition. 23 Marauders is a fair bit of damage, as looks like, oh no, Noctis is going to get caught out of position. He wanted to hit the army where he thought it was, but he's actually going to start getting hit at his third base. His Nexus just completed. This Nexus is most likely going to go down. We're seeing all of these Vikings, these 10 Vikings, trying to move away from those Stalkers, but Stalkers blink up with their vision and are starting to be eaten alive, though, out of position. Army is just going to get eaten up. Oh god, Vikings are taking down the Colossus, continuing to put on a huge amount of aggression as they're just going to keep on pushing in, and it looks like Everize is actually going to fall prey to a better concave with the Stalkers, but these Vikings take out the Colossus, and that is what matters. This Immortal is actually doing a fair bit of damage against the Marauders in this mix, but Everize is going to lose his entire army. Ooh, that is an interesting engagement. Noctis with a +1/+1 is actually going to be able to emerge victorious. So here we have this Nexus on the field. He's going to actually need to set his rally point and start getting that going. Now, Noctis is dealing with another drop back here that Everize was doing in the midst of all that attack, but how much damage was actually done? It looks like the workers killed 15 for Everize, so that was definitely a successful drop on his part, not to mention the fact that he now has a third orbital command on the way, while Noctis has lost his Nexus and is being forced to rebuild it. So we're having a bunch of Stalkers along the field in this scenario. Noctis is continuing to get out his probes. He's actually, even with taking those 15 probe losses, is only down by 6 in terms of SCVs to probes. Currently boosting them out is really proving to be beneficial, but the problem is he doesn't really have much income from his main base. He actually could easily just take some of these probes and just start having them distance mine from this part, because of the fact that it's just going to increase his efficiency, because of the fact that he already has so many probes that are doing nothing. You see all of them dancing around. Definitely bad for efficiency. But now Everize has a lot of SCVs over there in his own third. See, the income is really in his favor, though, as he's got the benefit of mules and a natural expansion that has more mineral patches. His main is just about completely mined out, with just a few mineral patches left. But really, Noctis is just now bringing in probes to his own third to start getting that back up. But really, with Everize being at the 138 food to the 108 food of Noctis is going to try and run around with some Stalkers, get a little bit of scouting done, and then if he gets hit by concussive shells, can just blink out of the way. But right now, just making sure that Everize is not going to go ahead and get up a fourth base of his own, as he is definitely playing very, very solid. And yep, there it is, the blink from the concussive shells, as he's going to go ahead and retreat. He knows that that third is up, as he did go ahead and just see that. The question is, does he realize how long it's been up? He's got to be assuming that he's behind, as he really is, and he was able to take out a lot of the Terran army, but Bio is very reproducible. I have no idea if that's an actual word or not, but the fact is that it's completely true. Noctis is continuing to produce probes, so he's got a lot queued up, but he really doesn't even need that amount of probes, considering the few bases that he has. He's got the perfect amount for 2 bases with 64, just with 24 on the mineral patches and 3 on each gas. Could be true for all of these bases, and then just have the 3 on each gas inside his main base. So he actually has 5 in this gas. 6 in this gas. He's actually rallied into it. Oh no, that's a horrible mistake, as I've seen so many people fall prey to that. It's terrible when a person actually goes in and sees that, oh no, they had 24 SCVs, probes, or drones inside that extractor, assimilator, or Vespene, or just Vespene guys, or refinery, as we actually seen the opposite problem, as Everize just has 1 SCV in each of these refineries. We are seeing a lot of Blink Stalkers moving into a ton of harassment. There is a free Marauder for them to do. They do have the 2 armor. Now Everize actually go ahead and sacrifice a lot of his Vikings, and oh no, Noctis may actually want to retreat. Going to move down here and then just blink away. The problem is that there are even more units from Everize down there. This 1 Stalker will get caught off guard, but a good bit of harassment from Noctis is actually allowing him to see every single production facility for Everize. That is a very, very strong harassment, forcing Everize back into his base. And he's got to feel threatened the fact that there can be harassment from those Blink Stalkers, as Noctis and Everize each are going for a 4th base at this point. We're seeing a medevac drop with double medevacs with 6 Marauders and 4 Marines. They're actually going to be able to hit this base fairly quickly, and it looks like Noctis will go ahead and lose that probe. Will he actually cancel this Nexus? I would definitely hope so. There's no way to keep it alive. Yes, he does successfully cancel. This is great for Everize. Delaying that 4th is a large deal. Looks like he's actually going to go for attack at the natural expansion, possibly, or go for this base down here. He sees where the army is with those scans. He's going to go ahead and possibly actually snipe down a lot of those units. See units warping in, going to go ahead and get taken out, but Everize is getting caught by the Blink Stalkers as he attacks the natural with a beautiful counterattack, double pronged attack. Going to be able to catch a lot of Noctis' units off guard. Force fields being thrown down, solid force fields. They're going to go ahead and but promise that not all those Stalkers are doing much. There we go, blinking forward, but Vikings are still on the way. Going to go start destroying the Colossus, and it looks like Everize is actually going to emerge on top in this battle. Marauders only versus Stalkers, but a good surround with reinforcement Stalkers. The problem is, I don't know if it's going to be enough, as these Vikings actually land, finish off the Colossus, and are going to start using their chain guns against all of these probes, as it does seem that Noctis did lose his third to the other units from Everize. So beautiful attack from Everize, great bio management, and he's actually going to go ahead and go up 1-0 in this semifinal. Very well done, Monsieur Everize. I am impressed. We're going to move on to game number 2 now. Thank you very much for watching.